Всем хай, мы возвращаемся в The Outer Worlds. И сегодня, мне кажется, я буду уже заканчивать. Или сегодня, или завтра уже закончу с этой игрой. Так, потому что, насколько я помню, в прошлой серии у нас была точка невозврата, где, ну, намек, что все уже заканчивается. Какая-то 25-я серия или 26-я уже будет. Пора бы и закончить уже с ней. Так, какое у нас вообще задание здесь? Персонаж. Я навыки пока что оставлю, не хочу ничего делать. Вкачивать. Так, нужно разобраться с Софией. София. Ладно, погнали. Эй! Что-то плохой плащ какой-то. А он не восстанавливается, что ли? Как его восстановить? Нет, блин, не восстанавливается. Так, F5.
Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff.
Ложь, запугивание, убеждение.
Oh, no. Don't tell anyone, please. Whew. Thank you.
Блин, у меня всего 3 заряда. Так, где он? А что будет, если я потрачу последние 2? Так, F5. Так, куда вообще идти? Нет, здесь тупик. F5. Эй!
What was that? Something's not right.
Unexpected security.
А куда? И здесь же выхода нет. Блин, нужно было винтовку ставить, чтобы издалека смотреть. Путь, куда можно идти. Так, посюда же можно пройти? Наверное, можно. Блин. Вот на эту лестнику нужно. И здесь тупик уже. Так, в 5.
Something's not.
Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff. Oh, no. Don't tell anyone, please. Thank you.
Какие же они глупые.
Got your paperwork squared away.
А до этого почему-то начали нападать на меня. Так, на второй этаж нужно. Сейф. О, что у нас здесь? У меня 10 тысяч. Сколько тут нужно? 800. Не. Плазму нужно. Двадцать два, 63. Сколько у меня дело? У меня такая же. Плазму здесь выкупаю. Двадцать девять, 12, 29. И здесь. Вот она. Судя по всему, у меня самая лучшая броня. Так, что здесь? Тебя. 23, 23, 20. Хлам какой-то не хочу. Вот, так-то лучше. Я так понимаю, это будет финальный босс уже. Так. А, у меня защита есть. Плащ. Эй, поговори со мной.
Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff. Oh, no. Don't tell anyone, please. Whew. Thank you.
Get in there, troops. For Monarch. For Halcyon.
Так, F5. Так, стоп. А куда это я зашел?
Huh? Something's not right. Hold it. Something about you doesn't look right.
Убеждение 50.
No, I meant your uniform. There's something about it. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Ух. Ох уж эти диалоги.
Well, look who it is. I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement, and here you are as a bonus. When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens. My word! You've correctly identified the most recognizable man in the colony. Remarkable. It's a wonder what Phineas saw in you. Then again, he's an insane person. Thankfully, he's our insane person now. A proper company man.
Вот это, наверное.
Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate fellow, isn't he? Fine, he isn't working for us per se. Semantics, he'll come around. But that's between us. As far as my
Но он же погиб,
citizens will know,
этот
you've
чувак.
turned a dangerous crackpot into a working-class man. It's a miracle. Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve our starvation problems. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton in a lab coat has been leading you through, but it's done. It's over. Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our entire society?
Вот так.
Oh, right. This coming from the psychopathic outlaw. Yes, I'll try to be more open-minded about your path of wanton dissent. We don't need your help.
Ну, знаешь,
We'll have to agree to disagree on that one, Captain. Now, if you don't mind, I have to finish prepping this script.
Waste of company ammo.
F5. Так, стоп, а что сделать нужно? А если меня так сильно любит, почему он ничего никому не сказал, чтобы меня убили? Ну ладно, буду считать, что это нужно для чего-то. Так, скорее всего, нужно подходить с этой стороны, поэтому идем сюда.
I don't see what the fuss is about a blasted lab coat.
Your uniform has created
О. Они просто устраивают геноцид. Так, F5.
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. You've been working with Dr. Wells from the beginning. When we moved to arrest him, he was prepared. I lost good soldiers in the attempt. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty.
А его разве не
I
убили?
despise more than uncertainty.
Мне казалось, что он там лежал на полу.
I'm afraid I can't do that. For all your talents, you are the enemy of Halcyon, and therefore you are my enemy. You make a nuanced and compelling argument. Here's my rebuttal. No. Dr. Wells is being held in my custody. His cooperation will prove invaluable, even if I have to beat it out of him. All that's left to do is put down this riot, arrest you, and then get on with the bloody business of saving this colony. Fair enough. I'm giving you exactly one chance to parlay with me.
Так, решающий момент. Я слишком тупой.
This prison is equipped with an automechanical warden. I've had it programmed to eliminate you on sight and rinse your remains down a drain. And don't worry. I will inform Dr. Wells that you died heroically or something.
F5. Что мне нужно сделать? Его убить, что ли? То есть не убить, а сломать. Так, здесь запечатано. Ладно, идем сюда. Ой. Блин, на него ничего не действует. Ау. Так, ну я потихоньку справляюсь. Нет! Ну я понял, как его убивать. Кто здесь? Так, давай, беги сюда. Ну, это легчайший босс. Блин. Но это была только моя ошибка. Сейчас я его убью. Где ты? Давай. Ой. Неплохо, что идет отхил. Хоть какой-то. Да ну нафиг.
Garbage disposal mode.
Вот эту всю мелкую шелуху нужно сразу же убивать. Как только она появляется. Давай, беги уж. Откуда они вообще появляются? Неудачно как-то побежал, чувак. Не знаю, вот есть такие моменты, когда нужны побольше хп. Блин, если он попадает, то он в стане очень мало стоит. Блин, ссаная перезарядка. Блин. Чё-то я разогнался он слишком сильно. Давай, иди ко мне. Ты почему так плохо бегаешь, я не понимаю. Видимо, отсюда сейчас еще выйдут. Ай. Так, все, остались 1 на 1. Да иди ты нафиг. Ты бежать будешь? Нет, сегодня. Так, тебя обыскать можно? Что у тебя есть? Ключ. Блин, 187. А я купил сколько? 200 где-то, 250 патронов. Но эта пушка затащила. Она довольно-таки много бьет. Жаль, что у меня только плазмы не осталось. Судя по всему, она здесь сидит. Ай. Level up. 79 тысяч.
You made it. I can hardly believe my eyes. You didn't have to do this, you know. Risk your life just to save mine.
Вот так вот.
I know, old friend. I know. Part of me wishes you'd left me here to rot. But what's done is done. You've left the board in tatters, but Halcyon is still on the verge of starvation. I just hope we're not too late. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
А, так это еще не все.
Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all. Earth isn't going to help us. No one's going to help us now. We're alone out here, and I don't know if we're going to survive.
Что
Yes,
спросить можно?
certainly. I'll help however I can. Yes, Akande mentioned as much. Earth hasn't sent us a single message in 3 years. No one knows why. Akande had kept the truth to herself, perhaps with good reason. Can you
Самый
imagine
сложный
what would
босс
have
в этой
happened
игре —
if
это
word got out?
диалоги.
We'd have utter pandemonium. I had hoped your fellow colonists might hold the key to saving Halcyon, but I don't have nearly enough chemicals to revive them all. I'll do what I can. I just hope it's not too late. It's time I return to my lab. I'll try to save as many of the Hope's colonists as I can. You're under no obligation to help me. You've done enough already. I only hope you know what you're getting into. There isn't much of a colony left to run. We were going to save this colony, you know. That's what I told myself when I pulled you from the Hope. You and I were going to set everything right. Now, I don't know what to think. Earth is gone, and we're going to need a miracle to survive another generation. I always suspected Halcyon might collapse one day. I just thought we would have more time.
И так, что далее будет?
The OSI
Это мы?
teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment she landed in Emerald Vale, her actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. As the colony struggled to survive, the inspirational story of the iconoclasts spread like wildfire, and Graham was able to bring many of the smaller Terra 2 townships into the fold. However, his zealous obsession with spreading the word blinded him to the needs of a growing organization, and the movement was unsustainable at scale. The iconoclast way seemed to work best, and ultimately petered out on Monarch. Sublight Salvage adapted to the changes in Halcyon, shifting their business model to suit the times. Their claims of legitimacy were scrutinized, but ultimately unquestioned. Lilia Hagen would continue to protect her family as ruthlessly as ever. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide's camp, where they found a new way to live. hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation.
Кого?
Nevertheless,
Почему?
Adelaide's camp grew
Почему
into a
отвергла?
well-established town. Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She died that winter. Junlei Tennyson fought to protect the Groundbreakers' independence. While the board's influence faded, mechanical difficulties forced her to rely on parts that only corporations could provide. The cost was high, and time would tell if Junlei could balance the work with her aspirations for a better future. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. As hard as she tried to drink them away, Nyoka's memories eventually overcame her. Traveling with the crew served as a constant reminder of the family she'd lost, and so she eventually returned to Monarch to get back to what she found most comfortable: the deep end of a bottle and the far end of a trail. Few have seen her since, but travelers often swear they hear her and her machine gun in the night, screaming swears and spitting bullets. Before his untimely death, Captain Alex Hawthorne had plans to restore and modify, for combat purposes, a sanitation and maintenance automechanical that he'd found in a state of disrepair in Emerald Vale's scrapyard. That
Так его можно было
remains broken
починить.
down and forgotten in the unreliable supply closet to this day. Minister Clark was released
Я его
from
даже
house
не
arrest,
видел.
and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He was never able to come to terms with his own past, troubled by the decision of placing all his faith in the first colonist he ever revived, the infamous Captain of the Unreliable. The revival project yielded mixed results. Phineas, weighed down by limited support and his own guilt, struggled to revive more than a handful of scientists and engineers. They made a heroic effort to solve the colony's problems, but with small numbers and facing long odds, their solutions never caught on. Only a few of the Hope's colonists were successfully revived. Wells died before he could see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a haunted man, crushed by the guilt of his failures. Small, petty factions squabble over what remains of the colony. Every attempt to reach out to Halcyon's neighbors is met with silence. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus and proved yourself the most capable leader left in the colony. You administered the colony in your own image. With the old power of the board destroyed, a new government of Halcyon rose with you at its center. With your steady hand, you guided Halcyon through the turbulent years that were to follow, and helped ensure the survival of the colony until the end of your days. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
Вот и все. Ну, концовка не такая уж и хорошая оказалась. Средняя концовка, не все благополучно сейчас живут, но тем не менее. Игра такая довольно-таки неплохая, если можно было бы скипать вот эти диалоги все, заново их не слушать. Лучшие были бы диалоги по квесту, чтобы они, как бы сказать, более очевидные были. Было бы лучше, как мне кажется. А так игра довольно-таки неплохая. Конечно, не Fallout, но тоже норм. В общем, все. На этом мы заканчиваем с этой игрой. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Если вам видео понравилось, подписывайтесь на канал. Всем удачи. Всем пока.